Oh, I am planning on finishing Peacetime in this recording section. So let's just get right back into it. Year 1144. Let's see how we stand as a per. Oh, we can't see how we stand at these screens. Oh, dang it. Well, we'll just move right back along. We're making progress as an adult. We killed a brother. We're making hard decisions, one could say, but we are the heir of the family, and I feel like we will leave the Brante family to a better future now that Stefan is dead. I feel like, yes, it does take a temporary hit to our unity, but I think in the long run, it'll be much more uniting. So, the Archduke relents. After many years, the simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Milonitis has finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional taxes from the people. By my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Milonitis, which has protected you since time immemorial. The farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral castle of Serpenverda. The gentry who remained loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hand of the Overseer? Or is this just an elaborate ruse? I think he's pulling back to try to consolidate for his coup. Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Arcanian rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. More towards the commoners? We went more towards security. Nice. We are now in security rather than misery and devastation. Ah! 7th year of service. Another year of service as a judge is behind you, but you have no time to celebrate. Your days are filled with unremarkable litigation and similar-looking complaints. Again and again, you see poorly written complaint forms. They claim that noble landowners are extorting money, punishing commoners for nothing, doing whatever they please. However, you've noticed a change in tone from pleading to desperate to quietly furious. The lowborn lot is to suffer, but how much longer can they endure? For apparently 2 more years. Every day, once the petty litigation has been dealt with, you return to Otten's case. Again and again, for 2 years now, you search for a way to do the unthinkable, to have an Arcanian and the High Commander that convicted for his crimes. You have not heard from Otten since your encounter at the City Hall, but he likely has spies among the judges and gendarmes. Sooner or later, he will realize the true state of your progress and find a way to get rid of the case, and you, unless you are prepared to strike the first blow. But what should you do? Will you speak against Otten in public and summon him to trial? Is there any way to deal with the High Commander? Either way, now is not the time, and so you wait and prepare. Because we could just duel him! Duel me. Justice for all. As you approach the steps of the prefecture today, a line of Legion soldiers wearing red cloaks bar your path. They are the personal guard of the provincial overseer. Has Gaius Tempest graced you with his august presence? You enter only after presenting your judge's signet to the guards. The common room in the prefecture is remarkably quiet and deserted. All petitioners have been chased away. The judges and gendarmes do not dare to leave their office. Everyone is afraid to breathe. The overseer, the Emperor's own brother, has arrived completely unexpectedly. The guards standing watch say you are expected at the prefect's office. You are escorted upstairs. Elborn is visibly anxious. The honored guest is there, reclining in the prefect's comfortable chair, his crimson fur-trimmed cloak cast over his back. Is Overseer Gaius Tempest himself. You bow deeply to the Overseer. He acknowledges your presence with a quick nod and turns back to Elborn. Well, Elborn, I am positively incensed to see what has become of the city under your care. I put you under the sea to instill order under Imperial law, but you've given the commoners way too many freedoms. And now they are revolting against their lot and the Emperor's rule, plotting, forming secret societies, and now an explosion in Anazote, an attempt on the magistrate's life. Everyone in the city is talking about some group called the Last Straw. This is unthinkable. Elborn accepts the blame without any sign of emotion, but you notice the muscles twitch behind the wrinkles on his face. I've ordered the secret chancellor to deal with the last straw, but their leader, a low-born woman named Sophia, is still at large. Last night, I ordered a Legion squad to set up a trap for this Sophia. We almost had her, but then Arcanian appeared and attacked the soldiers. Elborn glances at you, confused, an unspoken question in his eyes. Did you hear that, Brante? An Arcanian? Defending a low-born woman? But how? Indeed, Prefect. One Anthony Fess, a young Arcanian of little note. It seems he now values low-born insurgents more than his high birth, his honor, and is loyal to the Imperial dynasty. Baron El Ferro, the secret chancellor, has been tracking him for quite some time. The young man began mingling with revolutionary rabble and has lost his mind. Now he swings his sword about in defense of the rights of the common folk. Let us lead the insurgents to the secret chancellery. That is their duty. What concerns me, however, is Anthony Fess. My legionnaires were nipping at the insurgents' heels, and this Arcanian appeared and murdered 5 soldiers. These poor soldiers will ultimately flummox, unsure whether to fight back or humbly accept their death at the hands of an Arcanian. The mind boggles, Your Eminence. An Arcanian has broken the law for the sake of the common estate. May I assume Your Eminence has a plan for this Sir Fess? Would that be that I had a semblance of a plan? What a sordid predicament! Anthony Fess is a traitor who has committed a great offense against the crown. Yet he is an Arcanian. I shudder to think what might happen were to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. This has never happened in all the provinces' history. The Arcanian dynasties will not tolerate it, and Archduke Milnitis will be swift to take advantage of the situation and undermine my authority in the province. Your Eminence, the law of the Empire is the same for all its subjects. Perhaps it would be better to have his power demonstrated once and for all. Sir Fess challenged more than the soldiers of the Legion. He challenged the rule of the Emperor himself. Elborn, what did I just tell you? Prosecuting Arcania would represent an even greater threat to my authority. Find another way. This Fess is young and hot-tempered, so push him to the breaking point in the courtroom. Get him to draw his sword. Let everyone see for the dangerous traitor he is. Even for an Arcanian, this would be an unforgivable transgression. Not the Archduke would dispute a verdict against him. We really do need to prosecute him, because this is a step on our way to prosecuting Otten. Guy's Tempest gaze focus on you. You do your best to show no emotion and remain as visible as possible until the Overseer gives you permission to speak. Judge Brante, you are here for a reason. You will handle the prosecution. I'd rather have a Sir Prefect deal with this mess of a case himself, but he's too powerful to risk it if he fails. Rest assured, many nobles and Arcanians will demand you set him free no matter how much evidence you have against him. The traitor Fess must be punished, but I ask to ensure you that my reputation remains untarnished. I have no intention of going down in history as the Overseer allowed our invaluable Arcanian rights to be compromised. That would be crossing the line. Prepare your case. Guy's Tempest rises from his seat in the blink of an eye and walks out, escorted by the guards. For a few seconds, utter silence fills the prefect's office. Then at last, Elborn feels like he no longer has to restrain himself. He blames me for what is going on? Me, his most loyal human. No, I will do everything I can to have this criminal punished. Do you realize how much it will advance our case when we get this Arcanian condemned in a court of law? This is the only way we can instill the rule of law on these lands, Brante. The Overseer insists that the trial be scheduled for tomorrow. Anthony Fess has been located. He was found and surrounded by gendarmes in the street. However, he did not resist and gave his word of honor to stand trial, because he probably thinks he's going to get out of it. You barely have any time to prepare the charges before entering the courtroom. The normally half-empty seats in the courtroom are crowded today. The highest ranks of the aristocracy and the most noble families and dynasties all focus their gaze on you as soon as you step inside. In the depths of the courtroom, you notice Octavian Milnitis, surrounded by a retinue of young ladies. The Archduke's daughter watches the trial unfold with a wry, indifferent smile. You ascend to the podium. Prefect Elborn himself presides over the board of judges. The courtroom door swings open, and the defendant Anthony Fess enters, escorted by the gendarmes. The young Arcanian is dressed in a defiantly modest garb for his status. No embellishments, no jewelry, just a simple linen undershirt. However, He still carries his sword, as expected from a high-born noble. You read the charges this procedure demands. Sir Anthony Feth willingly caused the death or death of 5 soldiers of the Legion, thereby allowing a number of the last straw insurgents to escape punishment. Murmuring fills the courtroom. The Arcanian's large dark eyes watch closely, catching every motion in the hall. Then suddenly, Anthony Feth interrupts you to speak for himself. My people of Anazote, I was not brought here by force today. I broke the law and am ready and willing to be held accountable before all of you. I fought those Legion soldiers and I killed him. Did I violate Imperial law? Yes, I did. Yet does anyone even bother to count the transgressions committed by our rulers on a daily basis? Why does this law exist if no one follows it? I do not accept a law that offers no salvation from eternal tyranny for the common estate. By my birth I was given the power to rule over humans. But if suffering is all that rule brings, then I reject it. I am ready and willing to sacrifice my very life for the sake of justice, so that all citizens of the Empire will begin to respect the law. The young Arcanian's words, loud and desperately audacious, sparked turmoil in the courtroom. The stunned board of judges, I wonder if he's being blackmailed by the secret society or something. But the stunned board of judges at a loss for words. The gendarme's freezing effusions. And the nobles are terrified. You hear their screams, "Madman! Pull yourself together! You're no commoner, you're an Arcanian!" The courtroom is on the verge of exploding with tension. The gendarmes try in vain to placate the audience. The board of judges looks to you. As the prosecutor, you must continue reading the charges against the defendant. The fate of the rebellious Arcanian is in your hands, but you have what it takes to make the most of the situation. Really? Really? Because we don't have enough reputation. We can provoke the Arcanian, which gets us to death, so we can't do. We literally acquit him and clear him on all charges. Or turn to Octavia for help. Oh my god. I wish I could do this, because this is the one I would have picked. But I need to have reputation plus 7. Because why? I wish I could provoke the Arcanian, but I can't. Career -2, justice -2, wealth -1. I feel like I have to do this? Like, this is the only reasonable option in this situation? Like, I can't do this? I think it's my only option. As passions in the courtroom run high, you look around to find Octavia. Lady Milnitis returns your gaze with a calm, wry smile, elegant as ever. You take advantage of the turmoil to quickly walk over to Octavia and whisper into her ear. You politely ask the Archduke's daughter to save you from the peril of condemning an Arcanian. Your entire future could be ruined by this verdict. Octavia's influence is more than sufficient to make everyone take heed. Well then, my sweet humans, after all, is there no point in power if you never abuse it? That's a hell of a statement. I feel like a lot of people in power live by that mantra. Octavia rises and proceeds elegantly to the podium, her emerald green dress trailing triumphantly behind her. The courtroom immediately falls silent. Everyone pricks up their ears. Ladies and gentlemen, I must confess I've grown rather weary of this trial, but as an Arcanian I feel it is my duty to save my kinsman from mistreatment of any sort. In the name of the Millennitis dynasty, I hereby pardon Anthony Fest on behalf of the Archduke. May he never again utter rebellious speeches or slay legion soldiers, lest he part with his sword. The Archduke has forgiven you, Sir Fest. For now, you are all free to leave. Octavian nonchalantly returns to her seat. Flabbergasted, Elborn can only announce the end of the trial. The nobles all gasp and shout, gossiping about the deranged act of the Archduke's daughter. Anthony Fest bows stiffly to Octavia and leaves the courtroom. Do you see, Parsons? I will spare no expense for you, my human, and I have taken somewhat of a liking to this Anthony Fest. He has no qualms over defying rules of any sort. I can already imagine my father's fury when he hears of my pardon. But what is he going to do? Take me to court? Oh. Your chance to set a precedent against an Arcanian court is gone. Anthony Fest roams free now in spite of his outright call for revolt. A letter arrives almost immediately over the trial, bearing the overseer's seal. You seal yourself for the worst, but to your surprise, Gaius Tempest is delighted. Splendid work, Judge Brante. I have no idea how you managed to get the Archduke's progeny involved in this case, but the rebellious young Fest is his problem now. I am right to decide a delicate matter of such importance to you. Elborn will be told to promote you as soon as possible. I need more intelligent, reliable men like you at the prefecture. You know, it is good to gain Gaius Tempest's good graces. Yeah, you know, we're at 6, but our career is not hanging in the balance now, which is good. So we have conditioned the road to the top. We are not branded by dishonor. I wonder if you get branded by dishonor if your family gets to 0, if your reputation gets to 0, or your wealth gets to 0, or your unit. I wonder if any of these get to 0. Your actions result in well-earned progress up the professional ladder. You're expected to have a glorious future in the field of law. You see more and more invitations to balls and noble gatherings. High-ranking nobles wish to befriend you. Powerful people have been keeping an eye close on your ascent. Today, a personal letter Today, a personal letter from the magistrate Remiel Vermin is delivered to your home. Sir Parsons Brante, I would like to further our acquaintance and discuss certain matters over a glass of Illyrian. I will expect you at my estate this afternoon. Accompanied by servants, you walk down the imposing enfilade of El Vermin's granite manor. Gold, tapestry, stone carvings of ancestors' profiles. Compared to this luxury, your own home seems tiny and cramped. El Vermin greets you by the fire. At home, the influential ruler of the city seems peaceful and amiable. Judge Brante, pray, come in. I'm delighted to see you again. Servants, pour us some wine. Please have some, Parsons, though your recent deeds called for much more than a glass of Illyrian. I'll be frank. After our first encounter, I had my doubts about your trustworthiness, but now you've proven by your actions that you have a future. You sip the wine. It is excellent, as expected. You calmly reply that you strive to serve the Empire and the Prefecture faithfully and in the manner you deem proper. I am overjoyed to see that the younger generation honors our traditions and cares about the fate of our nation. We have that in common, you and I. Many see me as a merely power-hungry, but why would power itself be of interest to me? My family is already powerful and wealthy. Its position is secure for many generations to come. No, my friend, I need power to save the city that has been entrusted to me from a grave threat. Take a look around. More and more insurgents are preparing a bloody uprising among the common folk. The new faith compels people to defy their lots. The foundation of the empire has been shaken. What do you think? Will a new world be born from this? Those who have to see it happen seem to have forgotten that our world was created in accordance with the twin designs, and we are already on the cusp of provoking their wrath. El Vermin is becoming truly incensed. Apparently the fate of the Emperor is not just a subject of idle chatter for him. You must understand, Brante. I've seen plenty of starry-eyed idealists yearning to change the world, but I know where their dreams lead. We have trespassed against the sacred order, and now we are on the verge of the wrath of the gods. I am a nobleman and a citizen of the Empire, and it is my duty to save this world from ruin. While the Overseer and the Archduke persist in the feudal squabble, the danger is growing. It's time to take matters into my own hands. I'm seeking allies, people who stand by my side to protect the city and the Empire. I hope you have the courage to become one of us. Oh, this is the promise to him. Let me speak plainly. Prefect Elborn is, alas, among those dragging us towards our destruction. He aims to subject all estates to the tyranny of the law. He seems to have forgotten that the law must serve the good old of the Empire and be a mainstay of order. But Elborn wishes to disrupt this order. He's pushing for the lowborn to gain power. What do you suppose will be the first thing they do once they get it? They'll take up arms and destroy this country. Elborn has doomed himself to a shameful fall. Meanwhile, the city needs someone at the helm of the prefecture who is bound by honor and concerned about the fate of the Empire. You could be that someone, Brante. You stare at the glass of wine, trying to hide your feelings. If you can prove yourself worthy in the future, Sir Brante, I can promise you the post of the prefect of Magra. I hope you see it not only as your chance to elevate yourself, but also to make your mark on history. Side with me, and together we will save Anazole from the uprising. If you remain Elborn's servant, you both will lose and fall together. Yeah, I can't agree because I made the deal with Remy. Relations. Destiny, a patron of the powerful. Refuse and protect our family, which gives us career -1, or refuse and protect your career, which gives you reputation -1. I will refuse and protect. We will refuse and protect our family. Because we don't want to take the hit on the reputation. Silence. You hold the magistrate's heavy stare and respond calmly that you are not prepared to make any promises. You think Vermin first trusts, but you are judge of the prefecture, and you already have a superior. Vermin frowns, shakes his head disdainfully, and rises from his chair. I'm very sorry to hear that, Sir Brante. I had high hopes for you. We could achieve so much together. Soon you'll see that you have chosen the wrong side. Farewell. Back at home, you describe your conversation with the magistrate to your father. Vermin's threatening tone is alarming. An enemy as powerful as the magistrate could turn the nobility of Anazole against your family. I'm proud of you for staying loyal to our friend Elborn. The magistrate is a dirty schemer who is only using this talk of honor and protecting the Empire as cover. Don't worry about the family. I'll make sure to talk to the nobles of the city in advance in order to get ahead of the magistrate's plot. Hopefully this will be enough to protect her reputation against his slander. Your father's efforts to thwart Vermin's schemes have been successful so far, but your feud with the magistrate has a damaging effect on your career. The documents you prepare take weeks to be signed, and attaining an audience or arranging a meeting is frequently impossible. You hear anxious whispers behind your back. Parsons Brante crossed the ruler of the city. Steer clear of him. You know, a career -1 for that. Pretty slap on the wrist. Deathbed. And we do not have enough unity to give her to save her. Deafening silence fills your home. You are standing by mother's bedside, so are father, Gloria, and Nathan. For an entire day, mother has been feverish, barely conscious. Gloria never leaves her side, not even for a minute. Nathan has stopped drinking so he can offer your sister his awkward help. Mother's health deteriorated greatly over the past year, and the fighting in the family home has dealt a great deal to her as well. She's been bedridden for a month. You have been to every doctor and folk healer, but no one can help her. They all tell you the same thing. Lady Lydia's life is in the hands of the twins now. If she passes away, she will not come back. And so you wait by mother's bed in sorrow, hoping that she will regain consciousness. There's a long silence that no one has the courage to break. Then at last, you hear Nathan's meek voice. Mother, it's me, Nathan. Can you hear me? Mother suddenly rises on her elbows. She looks around, her eyes unseeing, beads of sweat forming on her pale forehead. My son, where are you? Nathan takes mother by her thin, emaciated hand. She looks closer to him, struggling to recognize his face. Stefan, were you playing with your younger brothers in the garden? You must be all dirty. Come here. You may not be my son, but I care for you as though you were my own. Oh, what a nice, happy family we have. A blessing from the twins. Nathan is unsure what to say or do. Father strokes his wife's hair. His eyes are two orbs of searing, undescribable pain. You're a little confused, Lydia. This is Nathan. And all children are all grown up now. Remember? Mother's eyes were bright and alive just now, but the moment they grow dim again. Her head falls weakly back onto the pillow. You're right, my husband. The children grew up, but I was never able to teach them how to live in peace with each other. I let you down, Robert. You made a mistake when you took me into your home. You saved my daughter and me from a life of poverty. And how did I repay you? Gloria cannot take it anymore. What are you saying, Mother? Don't you dare blame yourself. You did your best. You did all you could. Father looks away, unable to hold back the deluge of tears. Mother's voice, so faint, calls out to you. And Parsons, where is he? With great care, you move closer to Mother. You answer quietly. You're here, right by her side. Parsons, I'm so glad to know you're here. I always knew greatness awaited you, ever since you were a little boy. What a shame I won't be there to see it. I couldn't save the Brante family. I will face my punishment at my final judgment. But don't worry, my dear. I am ready to stand before the twins. Lydia's, Bronte's voice trails off. No longer a voice, just a final whisper of life. Will you accept your mother's death, or will you find your way to fight for her life? Share your strength with Mother, which requires unity greater than or equal to 8. Mother recovers, or unite the family. Oh my god. Stefan does not equal secret plot. Glory does not equal at home. Stefan Bronte does not equal a duel. And Gloria Bronte does not equal betrothed. You need unity plus or minus 7. Wow. Well, we only have one option. We don't have enough unity to fight her off, so we just have to accept oh my fucking Jesus. Okay, cool. I get unity -2, willpower -10, and everyone dislikes me. Cool. Your heart aches and grows numb as you realize the inevitable. There's nothing you can do to help your dying mother. There's nothing that would give her strength. Your family has grown weak from all the spite and strife that has filled your house. We are at 1. Quarrels and feuds. Hatred is 0. Your family has grown weak from all the spite and strife that has filled your home. Even now, at Mother's deathbed, you feel the enmity, disappointment, and anger driving your family apart. Children, accept this. Humbly. Her voice trails off. Her eyes grow dull. Her cold hands release yours, fall into the bed, and grow still. The last motion on Mother's face is a sadness born of exhaustion. A scream of despair rips itself out of Gloria's throat. We did this for her! We fought so much that we killed her! Me, Stefan, Parsons! Nathan yelps with grief. He runs away howling. Stefan remains still, a living statue chained to the head of the bed. Let us not remember that Stefan is dead, and he should not be here. There's a slight miswrite. Father slowly sits and takes his late wife's hands into his. His tears flow no more. His eyes stand far into the distance, empty and bleak. Lydia. You mourn her together, but alone. You leave the house to roam the garden, empty and numb. Mother has left the world for the peak of the pillar to face the twins' judgment. She spent all her life preparing for this journey. But now her mortal life has ended. She is no longer here. Never again will she gather her family at the table. Never again will she offer a word of solace in trying times. Never again will she greet you with her quiet, humble smile. You bury your face in your hands. Lydia Brante, your mother, has left this world, and our father likes us less because of that. Gloria likes us less because of that. Nathan likes us less because of that. And Lydia is dead. And yeah, this is the big oof. Oh, the second big oof. The first big oof, I should say. Because we have 1 unity and negative 10 willpower. I wonder if this is going to trigger an event. Your mother lost her fight to the severe illness. She would never return from the hereafter. Nope. Transformation. It has been a long time since your last encounter with Octavia Melanitis. You've come to expect to run into her from time to time in the most unusual circumstances. But Octavia has all but disappeared, vanished completely from Imperial High Society. Then one night you come home to find a letter bearing the heraldic serpents of the Melanitis dynasty. The handwriting is not Octavia's, though. This letter was penned by the Archduke himself. We, Dark Duke Tarkanius of the Great Melanitis dynasty, salute you, Judge Parsons, Brante. We've been made aware of your relationship with our daughter Octavia, but we shall leave the particulars of this relationship for another time. Lady Octavia has disappeared. It has been 1 month since she was last seen in any of the holdings within the city of Anazote. We, Archduke Melanitis, expect you, Brante, to aid us in finding our lost daughter. Tread carefully, lest you attract unwanted attention to this matter. The reputation of the Melanitis dynasty is at stake. Do not fail us, Judge Brante. The Archduke's expectation represents a direct order to find her as soon as possible. To refuse him would spell certain and immeasurable disaster. You began looking for Octavia immediately. The building where the Circle of Latari used to gather was abandoned long ago. You have no hope of finding any of Octavia's followers there. You decide to search the prefecture archives. You spend an entire morning going through each and every case and report concerns with ancient races and rituals of old, even indirectly. For a long search, you finally stumble upon a familiar name, Alexis Elance, a noble from an influential bloodline. You impersonated him when you infiltrated the Circle of Latari 2 years ago. The archives say that Elance was reported multiple times to be searching for another faith, and claimed he was seeking to understand the design of the twins in his own way. You chuckle upon seeing this. The original Elance is one of the first humans ennobled by Tsar Melanitis himself. The proud name of his forefather is the only thing that has saved the willful Alexis from the Inquisition's pyres. Regardless, he is your only clue to Octavia's whereabouts. You help with the Elance mansion at once. You tell the servants at the door that you have an urgent matter to discuss with their master. A tall, gaunt nobleman with a thick beard walks down the stairs to greet you, studying you intently during the introduction. His eyes seem to be locked in a perpetual state of pain, but it's different from the familiar pain and suffering of the common lot. You inform Lance sternly that you're aware of his involvement in the Circle of Latari, and hint that his noble origins may not save him from an inquisitorial visit this time. You're looking for Octavia Melanitis. Where is she? The eccentric noble lets out a rueful chuckle. He's not one to hide the truth. The Circle of Latari is here, within these walls, Lance tells you. But Lady Melanitis is currently conducting a ritual of the utmost importance. No one may interview. This rite will return the Latari to this world, or rather, it will return the world to the eternal fold of the Latari. You resolutely walk past Lance and his intellectualing and march up the stairs. The servants rush to stop you, but one stern glance is enough to remind them of their lot. Upstairs, you hear the massive droning chant. You fling open the massive gilded double doors leading to the sitting room. The silhouettes in gilded masks and flowing garbs are here, undulating in their dance and producing all manner of strange sounds. In the center of their dancing circle is Octavia Milnitis, laying prostrate on the floor. Octavia is dying. A sea of blood has already been drained from her slashed wrists, but she is still alive. You break through the circle of the Latari followers and rush to Octavia's side. The Arcanian opens her dark eyes to look at you, the world reflected in them growing faint and dim. She wheezes a true death rattle. Octavia's body melts away your arms. Long fingers rest on your shoulder. They belong to Alexis L. Lance. Lady Octavia will not be reborn, he tells you. She has left her body and soul alike. She has become Latari. Without a word, the members of the circle slowly part and spread around the large room. The deed is done, says El Lance. Sending one of a number to commune with the Latari is the most we could have hoped for. Oh my gosh. Terrifying. Before you can propose yourself, the creature that was once Octavia flows into the room. Everyone falls silent, watching in wonder and awe. You can still recognize Octavia's features in this creature. It seems to float in the air, its body thinner, its skin now gilded and reflective in the candlelight, its eyes larger and bizarrely elongated. Octavia's followers cover the creature's delicate shoulders with a cloak and stand reverently before it. The creature that was once an Arcanian approaches you, slowly, without touching the ground at all. Its voices drone, remote and distant, like an echo from a faraway realm. You are born witness to a rebirth. The one you call Octavia Milnitis is no more. The mind of the Latari now resides within this body. The one called Octavia has cast off the shackles of your narrow world. She's awakened, now free of blood tide, birth, and other such burdens. She sees the world as exists in the mind of the Latari, the only true world, for all other worlds exist within it. Neither you or any denizen of your illusionary world can return the one called Octavia to her cage. You must leave, parses Brante. The one you seek is no more. Oh my gosh, we have 4 options. Demand that Octavia return to her family. Octavia is betrayed. Reputation +1. Let the Latari go. Octavia Milnitis has fled. Reputation -1. Octavia Milnitis +1. Accept your beloved's transformation. Personnel. Oh my god. Spiritual bond. Open yourself to the truth of the Latari. You ask the Latari to open your eyes to the true nature of things. It does take reputation -1, but it does give me back to 0 willpower rather than -10. So all of these are all of these are reputation -1. So it's just what do I want? Well, this is reputation. This is reputation -1, 10 willpower. This is reputation -1, -10 willpower. That's reputation -1. So obviously, I'm gonna take the reputation -1 and willpower +10. I think that's the most logical of all the other ones. And I'm gonna open myself to the truth of the Latari because I took the Latari ritual. Dazed by the encounter, you look at the creature in which Octavia transformed before your very eyes. You cannot help but think of the only other Latari ritual you have seen. The gilded faces, the intoxicating dance, the strange connection that made everyone and everything seen as one. The world falling apart into shards of dreams until there was the Latari. Wow. Octavia chose his path, and she has walked it to the end. Carefully, you reach out and put your hand on the shoulder of the creature that was Octavia. Its body is so delicate now, so fragile that you fear to shatter it with a single touch. The gauge of its abyssal, almond-shaped eyes is utterly inhuman. You ask the now reborn Octavia to show you the truth of her new existence. Is there a way for you to share this experience with you? There's a strange glimmer in the creature's dark eyes as it gazes on you. You are still human, Parsons Brante. Your nature will not allow you to comprehend that you only exist within our mind. But the one called Octavia remembers how you sought to understand the Latari. She'll show you that which you are be able to see. All of a sudden, the Latari takes your arms and puts them in its head. Your body reacts to this touch with a flurry of emotions and sensations you cannot even attempt to describe. The creature then turns its head and looks at you. Its eyes are nothing, emptiness, darkness. It swallows you in an instant. For an unknown time, you cease to exist. No family, no calling, no people, no things, never born, never died, never lived. You ought to be terrified, you realize, but the man who ought to be terrified is sees this all the same. Only what you see is in your mind's eye exists now. You see a little Arcanian girl sleeping in an exquisite bed, surrounded by nothing but darkness. The rest of the world is only her dream. He dreams of a prison of gilded cages, and noble parties, and dances, and mansions, all surrounded by a moat of blood that is her father's blood tide. She dreams of trying to flee, prying the bars open, only to slam into the bars of an even larger cage. The twins tower above her. The cage is their great design. The girl is crying now. She just realizes that there's nothing outside the cage. This sounds like some Persona level shit, dude. But suddenly, the Arcanian girl wakes up. She sees herself sleeping. She sees her own dream. She gets out of bed and walks away. And then the lots and the blood tide and the empire and the twins and their design, they all shatter and turn to ash. For the girl has awakened. She suddenly realizes the world is far larger than this dream. She can create it on her own. She's within the Latari. She's no longer trapped. She herself is Latari. You emerge from the blackness of the Latari eyes just as suddenly as you had plunged into oblivion. You too could stop being human, Parsons Brante, but you have your own path to walk. You cannot create a world of your own. You're too busy struggling within a cage that is not of your own design. The Latari will meet you again, but for now, we must see the world through new eyes. Onward! The creature's fingers trace the outlines of your face. Your body reacts to this touch with a flurry of emotions and sensations you cannot even attempt to describe. The creature once known throughout the province as Octavia Milonitis floats down the stairs and disappears from sight. Dazed, you watch the members of the circle part and walk away without a word. You are soon left alone. As soon as you recover from this experience, you head to Castle Serpenverda. The Archduke will not tolerate any delays when it comes to his daughter's fate. The guards escort you to the ancient throne room, the same room where Octavia once met you herself. On the throne sits the Archduke, sullen and dour. His face resembles that of a bird of prey. His lips are tightly pressed. His body is hunched and tense. You kneel before the reigning lord of the province. I have no time for formalities, Brante. Tell me what has happened to Octavia. You remain kneeling, your eyes cast down. You tell him that you have been unable to find Octavia. You search all across the city and question everyone who had tied the Archduke's daughter, but it was all in vain. You failed to carry out his order. Archduke Milonitis listens, showing no emotion, but his hand clutches at the very scepter harder and harder with every word. Does he believe what you are saying? You had a service! You could have performed for me, Brante. A service that would have brought honor to your family. Instead, you have failed me. I will remember this when my father requests to be ennobled by the sword. You shall not forget all ties you have to Octavia, as well as my orders. Forever! The high road takes you back to Anazote, empty in the dark night. You cannot help but think of Octavia, or the creature she has become. The creature that called itself Latari has disappeared without a trace. The Archduke's men scour the entire city, but cannot find her. Will you ever see her fragile, ethereal silhouette again? Octavia's fate is inextricably bound to yours. We have a spiritual bond. That's a -1 reputation. But now we're at 0 willpower because we had to take the dumb -10 hit for letting our mom die. Archduke's daughter has transformed into a mysterious creature, neither Arcanian nor human in nature. Doop, and the page flips. Conditions met. Gloria of House Brante. Stefan Brante killed in a duel. Gloria Brante at home. Why is the Gloria Bronte's picture like different than her normal picture is? That's just weird. The sitting room is brightly illuminated by dozens of candles. Today, the tapestry bearing the Bronte family crest, an oak branch wrapped in chains, hangs above the fireplace. The petitions have been granted, and the paperwork is ready. Today, Gloria will join the Bronte family and become your father's lawful daughter. The entire family is gathered together, except for Stefan. Ever since you and Gloria got your way, your older brother has spent less and less time at home, preferring to take prolonged trips or visit his noble friends. You mean he's dead? Excuse me? That seems like just a writing mistake. Gloria is standing by the fireplace, clothed in a modded black dress, quite unlike her usual trousers and men's jacket. Even her hair is braided today. For the sake of this momentous occasion, she is behaving as reservedly as she can, though she often glances at you with gratitude. Father steps forward solemnly and makes a speech as the family watches in profound silence. Come closer, Gloria, and become a branch of the Bronte family tree. Gloria kneels humbly before the man she has called Sir Robert all her life. He holds his hand in front of her face, as the ceremony demands. From this day forth, you shall be a full member of this family, your fate now bound with ours. Wear your name with honor, and may the Bronte family prosper with you. Gloria leaves a filial kiss on the fingers of his outstretched hand. Now rise, Gloria Bronte. Slowly, gracefully, confidently, Gloria rises to her feet. For the first time since childhood, she looks and seems like your older sister. With a smile, father at last embraces his adopted daughter as a parent. Gloria warmly responds to his embrace, then hurries to you. Parsons, we're legally brother and sister now. I owe it all to you. I swear, I'll never forget what you've done for me. I promise I'll only be more careful from now on. I'll only do what's best for the family whose name I bear. You answer without hesitation. Gloria has always been your family. All you did was make it official. Your sister squeezes your hand in excitement. This is her day, the day she's been waiting for his entire life. And that gives us +2 affection. Gives us reputation -10. Okay. Robert adopts Gloria and she becomes a fully fledged Bronte. Well, fuck my reputation. Recent events have dealt a crushing blow to the reputation of the Bronte family. You have slipped into the realm of infamy and disgrace. So far the noble families of the city have patiently endured your transgressions, but now you have lost face in their eyes. Noble society is eager to bring your every dusty scandal back into light, old offenses, ancient grievances, and naturally, father's marriage to Lydia Bronte and Gloria's ignoble origins. And they have surely not forgotten that the sons of Robert and Lydia Bronte, Parsons and Nathan, were born out of wedlock. None of the nobles will ever say this to your face, of course. Their behavior will seem perfectly ordinary on the surface, but no matter where you go now, you will be followed by scornful glances and dismissive whispers. We have to accept this and humbly bear our burden. All hopes of being ennobled by the sword is lost. No matter what we do to restore our name, we will never wash away this dishonor. -1 relation to our father, We have hatred in our family. Fuck! And it means going branded by dishonor. The Brante name is dragged through the dirt, never to recover. And now we have fucking hatred in her. Oh my god. All of them fucking just bringing Lydia into the family. The tension at home has become unsufferable. Everyone in your family has been driven to the brink by the unending bickering and fighting. Even the small... Why the fuck are we bickering and fighting? Why did I not get plus unity for bringing Lydia into the family? That makes no sense. Literally, Stefan is gone. Nathan's gonna accept her. My dad has accepted her. Did my unity not go up? I feel like that should have freaking skyrocketed my unity. Oh. Even the smallest family matters bound to provoke hours of arguments and a drove of mutual insults. Tonight you can already hear from the doorstep screams of fury, shrill sobbing. You watch Father run down the stairs. He's absolutely livid. Twins grant me strength. How am I ever supposed to get along with my own family now? You ask what brought on this time, but all your question does is draw Father's ire upon you. Of course you have no idea what's going on. You've doing nothing, Parsons. Nothing at all to return peace to this family. You're just fanning the flames. Father stops before he can utter another word. He hurries to the study. The door shuts and locks. At last the house is quiet. But it's fallen from Carl. Oh no! Stefan Brante doesn't like me as much. The dead dude. Oh no! My dead mother doesn't like me as much. Okay, that actually kind of sucks. That sucks. That sucks. And I just get fucking -10 willpower. Fucking great. Tomas's wedding. Oh my god, literally, I feel like it's the right decision, so fuck everyone else. This is a day you remember well. It began with a loud, impatient knock at your door. You're surprised to see Tomas paying a visit to your home. There's joy on his face as your old friend shakes your hand. Brante, it's been a while since I last saw you last. I just got back from the city. I visited my folks, then ran straight here. Otten finally stopped pounding me. I'm sure that whole mess is over for good. You invite your friend in, but he gestures for you to wait, a sly smile on his face. I'm still in a hurry right now, buddy. So much to do, so little time, I'll explain. I just got back from Selmina. There was this girl in the village, a shopkeeper named Meyer. She gave me shelter, and I ended up falling head over heels in love with her. You congratulate your friend, and pat him on the shoulder with joy. He laughs happily. My poor ma and pa. All the life they hoped I'd marry a noble woman. I used to hope that too when I was young, but now I know something more important than noble titles. Meyer's about to be my wife. You offer Tomas words of congratulation, but then he suddenly grows serious. Otten's left me alone, but Meyer and I will still be far away from Anzote. I wasn't happy serving the Legion anyway. I thought the nobleman's lot would set me free from suffering and do the same for my descendants. But it ain't just that simple. I was less free than ever. I'll be better off as a commoner again, earning my living by the sweat of my brow. Father said it might not be an estate, but this high and mighty won't ever set sights on me again. I'll live my life in peace, just like I wanted. I just got one last request for you, though, Parsons. You've done so much for me, but I'd be honored if you'd be a witness to my wedding vows before the twins. Bear witness to the wedding vows? Perform the wedding ceremony yourself? Or bid Tomas farewell? No, I will obviously bear witness to their wedding vows. Your hand comes to rest on Tomas's shoulder. It would be an honor and privilege for you to be a witness at your friend's wedding. Tomas glows with joy. Wonderful. You got no much idea how that means to me, Parsons. I gotta go get ready. Several days later, you follow your childhood friend to a smallish temple nestled on the edge of the brass district. He's wearing a plain white shirt. Needless luxuries are forbidden at the austere wedding ritual. You're both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired young woman, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Maya, meet Parsons Brante, my best friend ever since we were lads. He'll bear witness to our oath before the twins. The bride greets you with a humble bow. The three of you step inside the temple. You close the door behind you. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. An amiable aged priest by the name of Ignatius Brante meets you inside. Thomas and Meyer kneel before the altar. O twins, elder and younger, behold these two as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. The candle's flames dance and quiver. You hear a strange murmur in the temple. The darkness beneath the vaults of the temple ceiling swirls into two colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them, awestruck. Tomas, dost thou swear thy loyalty to this divine union? I do. The bride assents to the same query. Your turn is next. You stand over the kneeling bride and groom and speak their names as the twins watch over you. Tomas Guerrero and Meyer of Salmina. One of the colossal shades leans over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts in a beacon of blinding light that illuminates the temple from within. Tomas and Meyer look into each other's eyes in amazement. From this moment forth, they are bound to one another by divine law, and divine love fills their hearts. In the sight of the twins, Tomas Guerrero and Mira Salmina are now man and wife, as Parsons Brante bears witness. The stern, solemn ceremony is ended. It is time to celebrate. A humble but happy feast is to be held in the bride's village. As day gives way to night, you and Tomas live the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. Your old friend looks off into the distance, hopeful. Yeah, remember how we fought in that yard over the little brothers? Look how much has happened since then. Both of you laugh as you recall the beginning of your friendship. I'll treasure those moments forever, I will. And you'll be sure that my firstborn son's name will be Parsons. Aww, buddy. Tomas chuckles, pondering. You and I, we grew up the same street. But look how different we turned out. You have a say in other people's fates, Brante. Your name will surely be remembered. But me, I'm still a humble nobody. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I used to be a man so sure. I used to be so sure a man could never start over with a clean slate. But I guess I was wrong. I'll never forget you, Parsons Brante. And I'll never forget everything you've done for me. A tear runs down your friend's cheek. For the last time, Tomas embraces you. Tomorrow he will leave Anazote forever. Will you ever meet again? No one knows. Okay, we got 0 willpower again. Tomas's new life. You see Tomas off to his new life, far from the danger and chaos. I wonder how you could exile Tomas. Oh my god, our reputation is 0 and our unity is 0. Repentance. The last few months have marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brante estate. Your only concern these days is the price you have to pay for this peace. Today you come home late, wrung dry after a day of work and worry. Everyone is sound asleep. You are making your way to your bedroom when you hear a suspicious noise coming from Father's study. It's too late for Father to be working. You go to the door of the study, trying to tread softly and turn the knob. The room is brightly lit by the moon. You recognize your brother's clumsy silhouette above Father's desk in the moonlight. Father Nathan hears you come in and leaps to your side in fear. You see something glinting in his hand. Father's dagger. Oh, Parsons, it's you. Shush. I just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry. I know holding a weapon's against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's just for me, actually. I just have to go to the twins. Your younger brother clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. You try to remain still. Nathan wants to take one of his own lives. But why? I'm not even sure I can say it, brother. I just can't find a place in this world. I'm an outsider, always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I can't stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their greater pain? But I've only made things worse. I meddled with the Marcanian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in vice. But I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy. They gave me all sorts of answers, but none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me. I've got to go, see the twins myself, and ask them. I know when I'm affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I'll repent. I'll pray for their forgiveness. But the twins never forgive, you tell Nathan softly. They never have, and they never will. You'll be judged in the hereafter for every false step you took. Your brother sighs heavily. I know. Mother taught me that all our lives, but I still have to try. There's no other way. One of my lives is too big a price if it works. I can't find any use for them anyway. See you soon, brother. Hope I'll be different when I come back. A cloud passes over the moon. Father's study grows dark, illuminated only by the shining light of the distant pillar. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger, aiming at his own heart. Well, we obviously can't do that, because Mother dead. We can't protect our brother, because our theology isn't high enough and Nathan doesn't like us. We do not stop Nathan. Nathan Brante becomes hopeful, and he comes to like a little bit. But we lose willpower. Against our will, funnily enough. You take a step back. The life that Nathan is about to take belongs to him. He is free to do with it as he pleases. May he finally find an end to his desperate search for meaning. Nathan whispers a word of gratitude, barely audible, then a sharp exhale as he gets ready to strike. His eyes guide the dagger awkwardly through the air and into his chest. The sharp tip reluctantly sinks into his flesh. A weak yelp escapes Nathan's throat. He staggers and falls, blood oozing out of the wound. Moments pass, and Nathan's body dissipates as his mortal frame dissolves. He is departed to commune with the twins. What awaits him in the hereafter? You pick up Father's dagger, carefully wipe it clean, and put it in the drawer of the desk where it belongs. When the skies begin to grow bright before the dawn, you go to your family crypt to welcome your brother back. Nathan is already there, lying atop the granite slab. Even made anew, his naked body still thin, awkward, and feeble. He suddenly stands when he hears your footsteps. His eyes are shining with otherworldly light. I spoke to them, brother. I dare to address them as my soul rose up. I begged the twins for forgiveness, and they heard me. They did. And the elder, he reached out to me. He wanted to respond to me. I know he did. But the younger sword stopped us. It cut the bond between us, and I fell. But I saw compassion in the elder's eyes as I fell. And he followed me. He shall descend to the lands again. He shall witness our suffering and bring his mercy. And then the world will change at last. Your younger brother shivers, almost convulsing with cold. You wrap him in a black cloak. Together, you return home before sunrise. No one in your family ever learns of Nathan's lesser death. Nathan stops wasting time in taverns with suspicious characters. He spends every day in ardent prayer, again and again. His quiet voice speaks of the elder's coming return. The family watches the drastic change in their wayward son with great surprise. Now he's hopeful. And I'm exhausted. Oh my gosh, and that ends this year. Oh. Well, okay, I still I am legitimately a bit mad. The fact that accepting Gloria into the family ruins the family, lowers the family's unity. That doesn't make any sense. I can totally understand it lowering our reputation to zero, but it should have it should have been at least like +3, +5 unity, because Stefan is out of the picture. Literally everybody else in the family accepts Gloria for who she is. But alas, it is not to be, apparently. I do disagree with that gameplay decision, but I don't have any say. I'll just have to take it as I go. Our family, zero reputation, zero unity, but a hope. Nathan has hope. So, again, always let me know what you think of my decisions down in the comment. Would you, like, from the start of this, would you have cast Gloria out of the family, pursued the Noble of the Sword at the expense of Gloria? You know, what would you have done? Let me know. But until next time, when we do our last year of Peacetime, which I plan to record after I get some food, we'll see what happens. We do need a little bit more justice, because we do not have enough justice right now. So I need to increase justice slightly, I think. But until then, see ya, everyone.